psyche as being human beings. And like I said, I wrote down 2 words. And the second word I wrote down, I think that is a good one that shows that words have expectation, is mom.
Mom. Oh, that's a really good one. A really tangible one, I think. Because whether you have one or you don't have one,
right?
We all know that.
Right.
Yeah. Oh man, our poor moms.
Right. Right. And that's just exactly right, because that word mom comes, it's kind of like, it creates an expectation for those of us who have moms or see moms, but also it creates like an unnecessary expectation of what it means to be a mom for the mom, right?
Oh yeah, totally. I mean, you think about somebody who maybe goes into such a sacred experience and relationship as to give birth, and they haven't even evaluated what it means for them to be a mom. I mean, that's going to be some
shock.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know if it's going to be shock as much as that's going to be some really intense learning on maybe a different level than if you've learned to let go of certain expectations. Not saying that that's going to make being a mother simple or anything, but just like, that's a whole nother, like, oh, now I've got to reevaluate what it even means to be a mom. Which I'm sure even with a lot of thought beforehand will happen inevitably, because there's nothing that teaches better than experience.
It is the master teacher, from my experience, of the teacher experience. And so what did we conclude today? What's the tangible take-home point that we would like to share?
Well, I don't know, but I think one of them is, for me, is a reminder to look at what I'm saying and how I'm saying it. And are there things that maybe need to be a little bit more concrete? And I don't mean that as immovable, but a little bit more defined in a deeper way, defined in a specific way. Whether that means that I just need to change my perception around something, or it might mean that I need to just change the word altogether and find a word that's more suited for what I really mean. And I think that also, as I've looked into myself and my words a little bit more, I'm a little more willing to offer space for others to say things that maybe I don't understand. You know? Maybe I don't understand what they're meaning. Maybe that's a sentence that I can't really decode, because there could be so many possible meanings. And being willing to ask, what do you mean by that? Or could you explain what you mean by this? And when I'm in a good space, I'm able to hear somebody say something, recognize, whoa, I just projected a whole bunch of meaning onto that sentence, and then ask them, hey, could you clarify what you meant by this? Because I'd like to understand.
And in doing so, a lot of that expectation, right?
Yeah, and a lot of times they tell me something where I'm like, holy crap, I was in a totally different direction. You know, I mean, we do it on the podcast. I do it to you on the podcast, where I go off on something and you're like, well, I didn't really mean it that way. I'm like, oh, see, I just took it and made it something. Right. So I think that's a good reminder for me.
One of the things I just heard you say was, defining things deeper before, you speak them or say them.
Mm-hmm.
And it's interesting because I believe from my experience of defining things, requires a certain level of stillness.
Yeah, which is
Presence.
which is no expectation.
Which is no expectation.
Wow.
Right?
Yeah.
And again, going back to that calmness. Right? If I'm calm, because think about how you are when you have expectations. You're frenzy. You're chaotic. You're hyped. You're anxious, right?
Or you're paralyzed.
Right. And none of those states are calmness.
No.
And think about when you're in a flow state, or you're in a state of pure being. You're in a state of Zen, or
yeah, we all I think most, maybe not all. I think I've talked with a lot of people who've experienced this before.
Right, and that is a very slow, calm place.
Yeah.
Life is happening around you, but you are moving in a really calm space.
Yeah, it's a really beautiful feeling.
And in that space, there isn't an expectation.
Mm-mm.
There's just an act. There's just a moment that's being played out.
Mm-hmm. And I think within that, for me, I definitely experience a deeper sense, or maybe not even a deeper sense, but an underlying sense of gratitude and appreciation that just are kind of there, but not really being focused on necessarily even, but just having memories of those experiences. And even in the moment of experiencing it, I feel more grateful and grounded.
And when I'm operating from gratitude, I expect nothing.
Man, we were onto something with the no expectations today. That was great.
Well, I think you and I both have I'm going to project this onto you right now, a belief that the higher purpose will be served.
In everything.
Yeah, there's an asterisk on that. There's an assumption in that, in my book. And that is the higher purpose will be served if you're sharing yourself and you're on your path and you're not getting caught up in other people's agendas and you're listening. You're doing your part.
Yeah. And even when you're not doing your part, you're still serving a meaningful purpose in the universe that will help you and others grow.
Yes. Thank you for reminding me of that. And so that's the invitation today, to move forward in life, or not. Maybe just sit still and look at where you're creating expectations in your life.
Yeah.
Is it your relationship? Is it your job? Is it in this frantic pursuit of trying to figure out what your purpose in this crazy place we call Earth is? Is it in some piece of art that you're creating, or a song you're writing, or a grade you're attempting to achieve? Where is it? Somewhere. We all do it. We're all guilty. I'm going to speak for everyone now.
Well, I would say that we're all really good at creating expectations.
So good, right?
I mean, we're freaking good. I would say pro status on creating expectations for ourselves and others and situations, our pets even. So great. That's awesome. Now how do we get back to the present moment?
Right. And that's the invitation, right? Can you learn how to exist in a state of not looking forward to that thing? Can the thing just be out there and you be okay knowing it's there? You're going to get to it. You're going to get to it.
Yeah.
So let it be there. And you just be in this moment, right here, right now.
Yeah, being okay with the outcome, whatever that outcome may be. And I think how you said the higher purpose may serve, I think this is a good time to share the prayers, the 3 prayers from Journeys of Wisdom. And I don't know if they came from anywhere else, but that's where we learned them. And that is, return me to childlike innocence.
And
May a higher purpose be served.
and
Surprise me, God.
beautiful.
And that right there is such a beautiful, simple, intentionful way to release concern or attachment to things turning out in a certain way or having to turn out in a certain way. Because, I mean, could anything better happen than if God's involved?
Yeah. Right. So we just put both eyes on the now.
Yeah.
We put both eyes on whatever that higher being is that you honor,
Or the presence.
or the presence. Any last words, Hummingbird?
I don't think so.
Good. We hope that a higher purpose was served today. I feel like, looking at these notes, that there's definitely some things I will be sitting down and
I know a higher
I call
purpose
it
was
mental
served.
bubble gum. I'll be chewing on this
that's a
mental
good
bubble
one, that's a
gum for
good
a
one.
while, and I hope that you're chewing on some mental bubble gum and you're getting curious about the expectations in your life and
Yeah.
how
Good stuff.
to live a life free of being overly concerned with your expectations. And
Yeah, finding a life that's more filled with presence, appreciation, and gratitude.
And until next time, I am Billy Perkins.
And I'm Julie Ariola.
And
You're you.
And you are you. And we're so glad you are you. And we're so glad that you take the time to listen in. And we hope that you listen in next week. Until then,